This video was made possible by StruSoft. After covering the basics of beam elements, we can start moving towards shells. Let's first talk about edge connections. Much like the releases, the edge connections define how the slabs or plates are connected to the next element. We will cover the edge connection.hinged and edge connection.rigid, which are the two simplest components to create shell edge connections. We will also use edge connection.construct for more advanced control and see how you can edit edge connections with slab.setEdgeConnection component. In Rhino, I have two simple plates and some line supports defined around them. For the one on the left, I have defined a hinged support, and for the one on the right, I have defined a rigid support. By default, the edge connections are rigid, and thus in FEM-design they show no edge connection. Notice that the rigid connections might show as null in Grasshopper. If we run the analysis, we see how each of them behaves under load. And as expected, the one with the rigid connections will deform a lot less. Merge can be used to assign different edge connections on a single slab on zero-based indexing. Notice how these two edges have different edge connections than the rest of the slab. The edge connections will be connected to the plate component's edge connection input. With edge connection.construct, you can define a custom edge connection. Here I am using motions.predefined and rotations.predefined to create a rigid line connection. As with bar connections, you can also assign plastic limits to line connections. Here I have high plastic limits for all linear directions. A really small limit value is used for the plastic rotation limit. For edge connections, a friction factor can be defined. Connect a value list to get options for detached types. Here the Z tension has been detached. This means that if the resultant of the forces applied on the slab is pointing upwards, the slab will get uplifted when running a second order or plastic analysis. To identify the connection with a custom name, connect text to library name input. I now replaced the rigid connections on the slab on the right with my custom connection. To display the edge connection names, navigate to Settings, Display, Connections, and check Type on the connection label window. Custom connection name is now displayed on the edge. I will run the plastic analysis. By navigating to results, it can be concluded that the plastic limits for rotations have been exceeded, and the slab now deforms more like a slab with hinged edges, even though it was defined as fully rigid. Here are the deformations for the rigid edge connections as a refresher. To edit edge connections of a loaded model, use slab.setEdgeConnections, connect the indexes of the edges you want to edit, and connect the connection type. Now all the edges are hinged, but if I connect this merge mix match, we get hinged edges on the sides and rigid edges at the ends.